vehicles out there about the 1 o'clock or so. That's going to be where all the protesters are at. Yeah, usually the weekends there's about 2,000 people out there.
Wonder why.
Yeah, it just, it goes back, the first humans got here in 500 AD from the Marquesas Islands. It's about 800 miles southwest of here, so. There's also an Alpine Lake up at the summit. There's also evidence of glacial activity up there, too, as well. Matter of fact, over here on Alessandro's side, you can see the dirt road that goes all the way up to the summit. Yeah, they're just blocking the road up there. They pretty much won't get out of the way, so. But they got to do something because they got to pay all those workers to kind of be on standby is what I'm thinking, to start working on that telescope up there. But got to get all the equipment, which is in a holding yard over there in the Pakaloa training area. Yeah, we'll start making our turn. Yeah, one of the protesters out there is a lady that was protesting back in the 1970s on what they call Ko'olave. It's an uninhabited island the Navy was using for target practice out there. Yeah, she lives over here on the Big Island. Yeah, we'll start making
you
our turn
feeling
now.
okay? Yes. Your tummy okay? Yes. Okay, okay.
Yeah, now we can start making our turn towards the Volcanoes National Park. Yeah, that lava field they're on right now is from 1855.
Victoria something, right?
And of course, Mauna Loa's erupted 3 different times in the 20th century.
Victoria is always off.
Yeah, in 1935 we had an eruption, and back then we had the then Lieutenant Colonel George S. Patton was here on the island. And he convinced all the leadership that gave us some airplanes and some bombs. They could drop those up in the summit of Mauna Loa and stop the eruption. Yeah, the eruption did stop about 6 days later, but he had nothing to do with it. And in 1942, the U.S. government kept it out of the newspapers. They were worried about the Japanese finding out about it. Thought they might try to attempt a nighttime bombing raid here on the island because of the orange glow at night. In 1984, actually watched it on TV as a kid. They put out several thousand pounds of dynamite up the head of the lava flow to divert away from the Hilo town, but all it is created a massive explosion. The lava did stop at about 12 miles of Hilo out there. Yeah, we had so much rain from the previous tropical storm that came down through here. There's a pool of acid in the bottom of one of the craters out over here. I'll show it to you guys if it's still there. And you may see a lot of holes in the ground on some of these lava fields over here. Those are be former lava tubes that collapsed on themselves. We got thousands of lava tubes here on the island, but believe it or not, we used to have a marijuana eradication program here on the island. Yeah, it's no longer in effect, but some of the National Guard pilots we interact with back in 2006 that were.
Want to speak? Yes? No. Your chest? No. If next speak some food, you tell Mama, okay? Yes. No.
They were flying our drug enforcement agency around the island.
Yes.
They were coming with several thousand kilowatts of electricity short, and they couldn't figure out how it was all going. So they did a power line inspection over here on the southeast side, and they found a bunch of cables coming out off the power lines and some of the lava tubes out there, and of course they couldn't do nothing about it because a lot of the growers had booby-trapped the entrances. Somebody come in and steal the plants. But things are changing. It's going to build a medical growth facility down at Hilo and issue them a cell license. So when you come back here next year, for your next vacation here on the Big Island, who knows what kind of services the concierge will be able to offer the helicopter tours. Yep, there's Hilo out the left-hand side. Yeah, it's got about 56,000 people down there. And overall, we have about 187,000 people here on the Big Island. Yeah, Maui by comparison has 144,000, but their island's about a third the size.
If you feel on your chest, sientes comidita que viene, tú debes de subirte aquí, ¿eh?
Yeah, we'll come over here and have a Kilauea Halei'u Maumau that's been erupting off and on for the past 400,000 years. Yeah, it's a crazy clear day. Tomorrow's not going to be such a crazy clear day, so we'll see what happens.
Should be pretty lucky today.
Yeah, it's supposed to hit the northern part of the island tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, so Monday and part of Tuesday out there.
What's the change? What do you want, amor? Solo tengo agua, ya no tengo más gomitas. Solo tengo agua.
Yeah, it's a really clear day. You can also see the Paoa event out there that on the 3rd of January 1983, they had a forest fire out in the middle of the rainforest. Really sent some of the park rangers out to investigate. The other 2 days we had a big giant fountain of lava shoots 1,100 feet up in the sky. So bright you could see it from the Hilo town. Yeah, destroyed 2 housing areas. Roller Gardens got destroyed in 1983, and then by 1986, the town of Kanapala had been destroyed. And depending on the reference that you look at, between 187 to 200 homes were destroyed between the 2 housing areas. Yep, that's all the old lava fields over here. This is from that 1984 eruption. Yeah, there's no more active lava on the island. Yeah, December of 2018, the eruption was officially declared over with, but it's still fairly warm out in those areas, just to have the orange glow to it out by the Lani Estates.
Cosa, te estoy escuchando, cosa. Ve.
Yeah, this road underneath us back over here that goes all the way up to about 12,000 feet.
¿Y ancora? Y ancora y más duro porque no te escucho. Sí, cosa chain.
Yeah, you see that green glass out in the distance out there. It's going to be the golf course. We call Volcano Village out over there. You see that big giant hole out in the middle of nowhere? That's going to be the extra crater
Ya te doy
itself.
gomitas después, ya no tengo más después.
Yeah, it's a typical shield volcano. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dust devils out over there. Check that out. Yeah, it's getting some rising up over here. Yeah, it's all the volcanic ash left over from the eruption out there. It's what we call the Kairu Desert.
Gloria, solo tengo agua para ti, ¿ok?
Yeah, even people in Guam, which is about 3,500 miles away from here, are getting respiratory problems from our eruption.
Dime qué quieres. ¿Qué
I
quieres?
already said it. You heard me.
Say it again.
No.
Yeah, he's probably about ready to fall asleep there. That's the first. They're going to try to battle it, and then they'll be asleep here in a little bit. And we'll stay above 2,000 feet above the crater, back up over here. Yeah, we got thousands of people living out in this area back over here, but you figured they would have picked a little bit safer place to live at, but back in 1959 when Hawaii became a state, there's a lot of land speculators that moved over here in order to try to build up housing areas. We also had a 1955 eruption over here and a 1960 eruption as well. Pretty much in the same spot they built the Lani Estates. And we also call Lacey's Ranch out in the distance out there. You can see about the 1 o'clock or so. Yeah, it is an active cattle ranch down there. Really not sure if they taste any different because they're so close to the volcano. But what does taste different over here is going to be the honey. Yeah, the bees are brought in from the mainland in order to pollinate all the macadamia nuts, the coffee, and the bananas that we have. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get over the top of the crater back over here. I'll dip it down the right, then out to the left-hand side there for us. Yeah, I always step into that sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide gas over here. It's pretty toxic down at the ground level. Shouldn't affect the altitude, but you never know how people are going to react. Some people get nauseous, some people get sinus headaches. My sinuses actually go into a spasm when they smell that stuff out there. I can see that crater, the crater edge back over there, that building that's going to be the Jagger Observatory. Yeah, that was built back in 1912 down there, but unfortunately sustained so much seismic damage that all the scientists had to move out of that, and you can't use it as an overlook anymore. Yeah, we also have what they call the Anika crater out there too as well. That was a lava lake back in 1959. It's right across the main crater itself. They call it Devastation Trail out there. Yeah, if you go down Highway 11, they reduced the speed limit down 10 miles an hour because the road's in kind of yucky condition down there. It's got a bunch of waves in it from the earthquake that we had. Yep, here's that golf course up the left-hand side there. Right across the street from Volcanoes National Park. And the lava lake used to come out and look at it after the 2007 eruption. The thing is just totally gone. Yeah, we'll see if that kind of a murky green water is going to be down there. That's all that sulfuric acid that kind of washed down there. I don't live here, but over in Indonesia, they hide down the craters and they carve it up into blocks. Built to the cosmetic and the chemical industry. As people never make it past their 40th birthday. Yep, we'll kind of dip it down the right-hand side here for us. Yeah, we gotta stay at least 2,000 feet above this area. Oh yeah, that acid's still down there. As persona seen milky green water down the bottom down there. Yeah, we'll zip around the left-hand side there for us. Then after this, we'll head down that other vent down there, the Alani Estates. And Mesa had the road just kind of collapsed into the crater down there. Yeah, even during our government shutdown, they had very few park rangers out here to tell you what you could and couldn't do, so people were hiking down these areas that don't normally belong at. Yeah, there's that green lake down the bottom that's usually never there. I can get it on our camera too. We'll zip around the right-hand side. We'll start a fairly rapid descent down towards the other vent. Yeah, we'll bend to the left over here. We'll head down to the vent down there. Yeah, we'll kind of aim for what they call the Mauna Ulu eruption over here. That was a lava lake from 1969 through 1974. It tapered off in about 1971 for about 3 months. And you can't take what they call the Chain of Craters Road that goes out the right-hand side out there. Takes you down to the ocean. I moved here about 3 years ago. We had 2 lava tubes going to the ocean down there, but they just only lasted about 8 months or so.